Hello everyone, my name is Kieran. Welcome to another Manchester United live stream. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Willian to Manchester United latest Manchester United transfer news and the fact that because of the threat from Barcelona, Man United seemingly are going to be stuck in a bidding war for Willian. More where that came from on Manchester United transfer news coming right up. But if you guys are watching, please leave a like and also feel free to comment throughout the stream your thoughts as they'll all be read out on the stream. We can discuss them and things like that. And also, if you are watching this as a video, please do leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you've got to say on the Man United transfer business. But anyway, let's get straight into this. And as I said, if you're new around here, please do subscribe to the channel for more Manchester United content. So, the story basically is, a bit of a summary, is the fact that Willian, it has been a target of Manchester United this summer transfer window. Reportedly, Chelsea want around 50 million for Willian, 30 years old, incidentally. But, obviously, with the threat of Barcelona also wanting Willian, potentially there's a potential for Man United to get into a bidding war for the player. So it's going to be very, very interesting indeed, and that is what the stream's about. So if you want to get your sort of views and things like that heard on the stream, leave your thoughts in the live chat, and just get discussing or whatever. But yeah, no. So I mean, obviously this comes because United want a winger, let's be honest. That is something which United have been, looking for in the transfer window ever since. Well, I mean, Gareth Bale's also been mentioned for Manchester United as well. And to be honest with you, it's very, very clear that we do need a winger at Manchester United. Now, some people are saying that a winger, it shouldn't be our main priority, if you know what I mean. It should be, second or third priority. Welcome, Liam, by the way, mate. Thanks for joining, pal. Some people are saying that a winger should not be our main priority, and it really should be, centre backs or left backs like Alexandro, Toby Alderweireld, someone like that. But I do think that Willian, or even just any sort of right winger, obviously Bale's been mentioned, Ivan Perisic as well is up there. Any sort of right midfielder would be very much ideal. Yes, I agree we could definitely manage without a right midfielder, but I think it would be ideal to bring one in. So you guys can have your say on that as well. But obviously Willian is sort of the main latest transfer news. Apparently there are talks of Barcelona trying to go in for another bid with him, and it looks like it's going to be a competition between us and Barcelona to see who gets Willian. And to be honest with you, I do think out of the options I've said for the winger spot, I think we could do better. I think he does fit Mourinho's type. He's played under him before, but I think as a Man United fan, I'd like to see someone a bit younger. I'd like to see someone who, someone like a Gareth Bale, possibly, who's got, talent we've seen. We can actually see that he's done it at the highest levels which Manchester United should be reaching season in, season out, and levels we haven't really been reaching for the past few seasons. But ultimately, it's only time will tell, really. Only time will tell, though. I'd rather someone like Ivan Perisic. I've looked at Perisic, and he's a very, very decent player, no doubt about that. Very, very quick, very agile, and I think he would be an ideal candidate instead of Willian. So, that's just really, what I think about that. But it's obviously your show. You guys can have your say in the live chat and things like that. And also feel free to kind of Skype in if you want to, and whatever if you want to get involved. But yeah, also, we don't have to talk just about transfers. We can talk about anything you guys want to. Obviously anything to do with Man United related. Obviously tomorrow is the second game of the Man United tour. San Jose Earthquakes playing. What time is it? It starts at 10 o'clock. So if you want to go check out that, you can watch that.
Play GTA.
Okay, mate. I'll pass the controller so you can play GTA. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's a problem with the notifications or something. But
seeing as no one's watching, are they?
Welcome, Dazza. Welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Please do go and check out Dazza's Dazza's YouTube channel in the description down below for more Manchester United content and things like that. But yeah, you guys can have your say on the transfer dealings of Manchester United. Have we done enough so far in the transfer window, or would you like to see us do a little bit more? Leave your thoughts in the live chat, and also don't forget you can call in on Skype in the link in the description down below, or just add me on Skype with my Skype name Leroy Lita, which is also in the description down below. So if you want to go check me out, please do feel free to do so. But it's just very interesting, really. Very, very interesting indeed. You know, I think it's about 18 days left of the transfer window now. You know, I'm starting to get a bit nervous of, you know, how we're going to get these deals done, if we are going to get them done. But you know, ultimately, I do still think we are going to sign one, maybe even two new players before the start of the season. I think there are going to be deals behind the scenes which are happening, and I don't think we should hit the panic buttons just yet like some people are. So I think, you know, we just need to kind of, you know, calm down a bit. And I think with the squad we have right now as well, I think we can have a very good season. You know, if we get a bit more consistency, a bit more drive from those players, you know, we could play really well next season. So who knows? Liam here, welcome to the stream. Well, not welcome to the stream, you're already here. He said, did you see the Daily Blind announcement? I did see the Daily Blind announcement. It was fantastic. You know, obviously they did the, you know, the football's coming home, but you know, Blind's coming home, or Daly's coming home, I think it was. So you know, fair play to him, and I don't really have a bad word to say about Daily Blind. You know, it didn't really work out for him at Manchester United, but you know, he never had a problem off the field with anyone. So you know, fair play to him, fair play. Welcome Fortune, welcome to stream, pal. Thanks for joining. So the bidding war for Willian. Oh my word, yeah, I know, man, I know. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think Willian is my first choice out of the candidates that we've discussed on the streams before and things like that. I don't think that Willian is really my first choice. You know, he's kind of in his prime right now, and I think we might be able to get maybe 1 or 2 good years out of him. But if we went for someone like a Gareth Bale or Ivan Perisic, I think we would have much more long-term success with them than we would with Willian. Only positive with Willian, obviously, is the fact that he's had Premier League experience, you know, and he's played for Chelsea, you know, for quite a lot of his career, knows the Premier League inside out, so, you know, that is the only sort of positive we get with him. Also, he has already worked with the likes of Jose Mourinho, so you get that sort of, you know, thing with him, but, we'll wait and see, I think, you know, possibly Mourinho's looking for, you know, similar like he was looking for Nemanja Matic, you know, looking for someone who he's a lot more familiar with, rather than wanting to take a risk on players he doesn't really know. Yeah, Liam, I know, I agree, man, I agree, actually, good point, because Bale has obviously played for Spurs. You know, yes, he played in more of a left-back role, but he did eventually go forward into a more of a left midfield, left winger role. So yeah, he has also had experience, but also the fact that I would say that Gareth Bale is better than Willian at this point in time. You know, obviously scoring that fantastic goal in the Champions League final. And he's won the lot. He's won the lot. Obviously, he hasn't won the Premier League, but he's won the lot in terms of, you know, what the game really has to offer. Except, I guess, Ballon d'Ors and, you know, World Cups, I don't know. But, you know what I mean. He's won a lot of trophies. He's had a lot of success, and he's played very, very well. And he's, you know, undoubtedly at least one of the top 10 players in the world. So, you know, I mean, if Bale was to come to Man United, I think that would be absolutely fantastic. I don't see it happening for some reason. I just don't think it's going to happen. You know, it's a transfer which is more, you know, hopeful than anything. And realistically, I think someone like Willian or an Ivan Perisic would be more likely to happen. Just one thing on Ivan Perisic, a bit of news that came out about him today was the fact that he was having talks with Inter amidst all the speculation with possibly a move to Manchester United. Him saying that, you know, apparently Inter Milan, you know, saying they've talked to him, and he said he's got a lot of fatigue from the World Cup, a lot of mental and physical fatigue, and he's going to come back focused for the new season with Inter. Obviously, you know, things like that in football can change very easily, especially when money is involved, so you never know. But from what we're hearing, it's not very positive signs if you are hoping for a move to Manchester United. But from what I've seen of him, I think he'd be an absolutely fantastic candidate, you know, not just his performances at the World Cup, but also, you know, his performances, you know, for Inter Milan. You know, obviously in the highlights reels and things like that, he looks absolutely fantastic. And I think he's a player who can come in and have a real difference and have a real impact on a game. He's not afraid to run at players, you know, try out skills and things like that. And, you know, even though, yes, Jose Mourinho probably would rather someone who takes less risks and, you know, can make sure they keep the ball all the time. But I think it's good for players, you know, to try things out, to, you know, try and run at players and maybe take a few risks. You know, because defenders don't like that. Defenders would much rather a player who wants to turn around and play it sideways. So I like the fact that Perisic can run at players and can make them, you know, make defenders worried. Fortune said, do you think Valencia is going to be a good captain? Obviously, another bit of news. Very good question, Fortune. Another bit of news brought up about Manchester United. Antonio Valencia has been named Manchester United captain. Now, I have got a few opinions on this, and you guys can have your say in the live chat as well. But I do think Valencia will be a good captain. Obviously, for last season, he was the captain for most of the games, although it was interchangeable from when he was injured and things like that. But I thought Valencia, you know, he handled his role quite well, you know, as the captain. So yeah, I thought he did quite well, and I think he will do well for the next season. Now, I saw a few tweets today on social media and whatever, I don't know what, you know, tweets, anything like that on social media, arguing the case for Paul Pogba to be captain. Obviously, with the fact that he's had a tremendous success at the World Cup, playing fantastic football for France, you know, winning the World Cup in the end, and also being able to, you know, showing impressive traits like speaking 4 languages. We've seen, you know, the behind-the-scenes videos in the in the changing rooms and things like that of him showing a lot of leadership qualities, which, you know, you kind of knew he had that in him, but we never really seen it at Manchester United. So it was great to see that, and a lot of people arguing why Paul Pogba hasn't been made captain. Welcome, Rasmus. Welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining, mate. I appreciate it. But, you know, a lot of people saying the reason why Pogba wasn't made captain was because Mourinho, you know, doesn't like him. That they've fallen out and he doesn't want to make him captain. He feels like Pogba's unreliable. Things like that. I don't know. But I do think Pogba would be an absolutely fantastic captain. And I did make a video just before the FA Cup final about future captains of Manchester United. So if you want to go check that out, you know, it's on the channel, probably just before, a few days before the FA Cup final with Chelsea. I made a video of top 5 future captains, and Paul Pogba was in that range. He was in that range. I think he was quite up. I think he was my number 2 pick at the time. And I put Ander Herrera number 1. And I still think Ander Herrera could be a decent captain in the future, but I think Paul Pogba, with the leadership qualities he's shown and the way he's played recently, I think it'd be a great, you know, a great thing to give him the captaincy. Although Jose Mourinho's gone the other way, and, you know, I think we have to trust Jose Mourinho's judgment on this one. But it'll be interesting to see what you guys have to say on it. Fortune says Pogba or Lukaku should be captain, in my opinion. Yeah, I think, you know, Pogba, we've already mentioned Lukaku as well. You know, for Belgium, showed a lot of leadership qualities. I mean, even so, even though they're not actually got the captain's armband, it's good just to have a few leaders on the pitch, really. It's good to have people who can show leadership, who are confident enough to, you know, to talk to the group of players, to really G us up. And hopefully we can see Pogba and Lukaku and other players, you know, do that sort of thing next season. And yeah, I hope we can see that. I really hope we can. And I think we will. I am hopeful for next season, if you can't tell. I really am positive for next season that we can, you know, go on and win the league. I think, you know, with a few more additions, we can look really, really strong. Rasmus here says, I don't know what you think, but it's discouraging for me that we're linked with most of the old players, but I guess that is to be expected with Mourinho. Well, you know, you've hit the nail on the head, mate. You know, Jose Mourinho, as we've seen with his previous signings, Ibrahimovic, Ibrahimovic, Nemanja Matic, and possibly another signing as well with the winger, or, you know, all the wingers we seem to be linked to are, you know, 28, 29, 30-year-olds. So, you know, that is the sort of player Jose Mourinho wants. We know this. We've seen it. You know, he likes players who are experienced, who know the game, and who have had a lot of experience of the game. And we know this because, you know, we've seen him at previous clubs like Chelsea. We've had first-hand experience of him buying kind of ready-made talent rather than young players, and the young players that he has bought have actually gone on to do well. I mean, you look at Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof, you know, Fred hopefully has a good season ahead of him. You know, he's brought Delot as well. You know, Paul Pogba, when he bought him, was only 23 years old. So he has brought some youngsters, and hopefully with the tour as well, he can bring some of the youngsters through from the academy. But I think he does tend to favour, and of course with Alexis Sanchez as well, he does tend to favour ready-made talent. I think that's just, you know, what he's like as a manager. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, it's one of those things which, yes, you know, with the right group of players, with the right ready-made talent, you can almost guarantee immediate success, but you can't guarantee long-term success. And I think a lot of Manchester United fans with Sir Alex Ferguson, we got to see him buy young players, buying players who were going to go on and be absolute superstars for United. And we were trying to create a dynasty with Sir Alex Ferguson, and we pretty much did when we did kind of break through. But that's what we wanted to see with Mourinho, but we don't seem to be delivering that at the moment. But very good point, Rasmus. Fortune says, I'm discouraged with older signings. I'm fine with 1 or 2, but having Matic in his 30s, Sanchez close to his 30s, and potentially Willian, will mean we need to rebuild again. Exactly, that's the thing, that is the problem. Obviously, as I said, it might be able to, guarantee short-term success and maybe winning a few trophies here and there, but in the long term, they will get old and we'll just have to sell them like we have with other players of our squad, like we will with Ashley Young, because very soon he's going to be 35, 36 years old, and I don't think he'll be able to play week in, week out for Manchester United. But yeah, that is a worry. That definitely is a worry. Rasmus here says Valencia seems to be very quiet, a very quiet person, not a person that's gonna lead, and also he doesn't speak English. That makes leading even harder. Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, I think Valencia last season took to his captain's role quite well. I thought he did a decent job for United. He played well. The captain's armband didn't really hinder his performance. He had a fantastic season for United last season. But I think it is good if you have someone who's multilingual like Pogba, someone who's able to understand all the needs of everyone in the team and is able to G everyone up in the team as well. So, maybe Valencia is working on his English. I mean, you'd hope so, being from an English club and all that, but hopefully he can do a good job for United as captain. I'm fully behind him. I really respect him as a player. He's done fantastically well. So yes, Fortune says, I think we need a new right back and a new left back. Dalot won't be played immediately. Yeah, I agree. I think the signing of Diogo Dalot, I don't think is going to be one for the short term. Obviously, that is one of the exceptions, really. We made it. It seems like we made a signing for the long-term success of Manchester United, which will be fantastic if it does go through and he does reach his potential. Obviously, Jose Mourinho, being Portuguese, has watched a lot of Portuguese youngsters and has been told, by Portugal, this youngster is a fantastic one to buy, and we've gone in and got him. So, fair play if he does turn out to be a fantastic player. Jose Mourinho would have had an absolute masterstroke there, but we won't know probably until the next 2 or 3 seasons. But I am looking forward to seeing his progression in a Manchester United shirt. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I think, obviously a lot of Man United fans are saying that we will need new fullbacks, new left back. Obviously, Alex Sandro has been heavily linked with Manchester United as well. But it is very evident that we are going to have to replace, Valencia and Young very, very soon, because they are getting on a bit. And I think even though, last season they did perform quite well, I think there definitely are question marks on how long they're going to be able to perform perform at that level for, and also the fact that even if they do perform at that level, it's going to be difficult for them to be consistent over an entire season. At that sort of age, Jose Mourinho very, very earlier on, said that he wanted to see Ashley Young play 50 or 60 games next season. I mean, that sounds absolutely ludicrous to me, but I don't think someone like that really would be able to do that. But I do think we are going to have to replace the fullbacks very, very soon, and hopefully we can bring in Alex Sandro, who will be a fantastic left back for us, and a right back. Hopefully Dalot can fill Valencia's boots when he's gone, but we'll have to wait and see how that plans out. Fortune says, and as well a right winger. Willian isn't first choice, but it's him or nothing. We need to get him more than 30 million though. Yeah. I know. I think, Willian, as we've said, Willian probably, for me, isn't going to be my first choice. I'd much rather someone like Gareth Bale or Ivan Perisic for that matter. But, again, Willian, he definitely has some strong positives. Worked under Jose Mourinho before. He knows the Premier League inside out. Has played against a lot of the defenders he's going to face. And does look quite effective for Chelsea. But ultimately, is he the sort of player that United want? And he's not exactly going to guarantee future success. Maybe short-term success, but I think a lot of United fans would prefer future success and building for the future. Welcome, Red Army MUFC. Welcome to the stream, mate. appreciate joining. He says, shit, I'm late, didn't get the notification. Yeah, I do apologise for that. I think a lot of people have the same problem, and I really apologise for that. I don't know why that happens, I really don't, but there you go. RedDevilWeekly MUFC says, I'm suing YouTube. Yeah, I know, I wish I could sue YouTube and get a bit of money, but there we go. You know, I don't know why the notifications don't work at all. They seem pretty poor, I've got to say. No, YouTube notifications, they really need to sort that out, and I just wish it was able to go back to when it started, really, but... You know, where you didn't have to click the bell and make sure you get all uploads and stuff. I think if you subscribe to a channel, you should get all the notifications from all of their uploads. I don't understand why you only get, you know, some... You only get some notifications and whatever. I don't understand that. I really don't. But there you go. I don't know. I don't know. Fortune says YouTube notifications are bullcrap. Yeah, I know. Exactly. It's stupid. It really is stupid. RedDevilWeekly says, my streak has ended. Yeah, I know, mate. Don't worry. I mean... You know, it doesn't matter whether you're first or last. I always appreciate everyone who's joined the stream. So I really appreciate all the support. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. And it really means something that people actually bother to watch me. People actually want to click on the link and actually watch these streams. It really, really, you know, warms my heart. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it greatly. And yeah, if you haven't already, please leave a like on the stream. I would really, really appreciate it. And... I mean, yeah, this show's all about you guys. It's all about your opinions, your ideas, your comments. All of them get read out on the stream, as you've seen. So, yeah. Fortune says you should do a video before the Leicester game on your predicted lineups and the transfer window and what you think will be after the window. Yeah, I agree. I think I definitely will do something like that. Last season I did do kind of my predictions for the season, my season preview. I definitely will be doing my season preview, and I think it'd be nice to get a few guests on possibly for that season preview. So I might be looking to get a few guests on and that. So I think that'd be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I definitely am, Fortune, looking to do a piece of content like that. And yeah, throughout the season, I'll definitely doing kind of, you know, reviews and previews, all that sort of stuff, all that good stuff. Probably a few watch-alongs and a few match reactions as well. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that, really looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new season, new content, obviously. And, you know, from one whole season, we managed to get up to 343 subscribers. Hopefully, by the end of next season, I'm aiming to have around, you know, 700 subscribers. I mean, if we aim big, aim massive, I'm aiming to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of next season. That'd be absolutely superb. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to happen. We're definitely going to get behind that. We're going to drive and see whether it's going to happen. And I'm going to try and do everything in my power to make sure it does happen. But, you know, we'll see what happens, but I really want to see this channel grow, and I'm going to be putting in the hard work to make sure that it does grow. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching and things like that. I appreciate it. Yeah, Crazy Piece of Gaming wants to stream, mate. Thanks for joining. So I don't think this will happen. This is fake news again. Well, I mean, this was a story that I was picked up. You know, it's picked up by quite a lot of newspapers and things like that. So yeah, I mean, you never know. You really don't know. A lot of transfer news these days are fake news. You're totally right, Crazy Piece of Gaming. And you know, this one could be fake news again. Barcelona might have already got this deal sewn up. Willian might just not be moving from Chelsea at all. We don't know whatsoever, but it's just speculation at this point. I totally agree. RedDevilWeekly MUFC said I wouldn't be excited for the Willian signing. Yeah, I don't think I really would be that excited, to be honest. Yes, obviously Willian coming to United, a new face, it'd be kind of out of the blue a bit. And I think he would add something to the team, but not as much as probably some of the other candidates that we could potentially buy with the money we have at the club. So yeah, I kind of agree. I think it'd be good to see someone be brought into the club, you know, and kind of, you know, quash all the anxiety we have over the transfer business that we've been doing. But we'll wait and see, won't we? We'll wait and see. RedDevilWeekly FC says he could do it. Yeah, he could. Fortune says Willian is an upgrade on Lingard, though. Yeah, I mean, potentially Lingard after the World Cup and things like that might actually be, Lingard might actually be played in more of a central position than he was last season. I do think that Lingard is definitely better in the centre rather than playing out on the wing. I just don't think he has the kind of, you know, pace. Yes, I think he does have the passing ability, but I think for him to be a Manchester United winger, you do need to have that sort of energy, that pace, you know, that really dangerous, dangerous thing about you. I don't think Lingard has that at the moment. But, you know, I do think Lingard is an effective asset to United. And I think he will be an effective player next season. Red Army FC says, if I'd rather have Lingard grow and be on Willian's level, because considering Willian is in his prime, he'll be another burden on the wage bill. Yeah, but that is true. That definitely is true. Willian will be another kind of burden on the wage bill if we did bring him in. You know, Lingard as well as some of the youngsters who potentially will be coming through to United. You know, so who knows? Who knows, guys? Who knows? But I think. If you're going to ask me Lingard or Willian on the right, I think I'd have to say I'd rather Willian on the right. But if you said Lingard or Willian at the club, I'd definitely keep Lingard at the club. But there you go. Obviously, they do play in different positions. Crazy Bit of Games says, I hope we win the league next year. Yeah, I sincerely hope. And I do think we will win the league next year. I think you know, we can. We've got the squad to. And if we do bring in a few more signings, I think we'll be in a very, very strong position indeed. Welcome, Manchester United Fans TV. Welcome to the stream, mate. But really appreciate you joining the stream. If you aren't already, guys, please do leave a like on the stream. I would appreciate that. He says, Willian wants to stay at Chelsea. It's fake news once again. Well, I mean, to be fair, if he has made a formal statement about that, then, you know, I do apologise. But I haven't actually seen a statement about that from Willian. So, you know, I'll have to do more research into that. Obviously, I don't want to say you're a liar, because I'm not calling you a liar, you know, because it might be totally true. And to be honest with you, I would not be surprised if it was true. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, thanks for joining, mate. Fortune says, wage bill, United are the second richest club in the world, but we came in second place. We shouldn't be worried about wage bills if we play Sanchez 500 grand a week. Fair point, mate. I agree. I think that thing has a very, very good point. Real says, who put a dislike? Oh, goodness me. Oh, come on, guys. I mean, I don't mind it. You can like or dislike if you want. Obviously, I'd rather you like, but if you genuinely don't like it, then, you know, it's a free country, isn't it? Free country. Can you do the funny dance, mate? I don't do funny dances. I'm tragic at dancing. Absolutely tragic. I've got to say, I'm a tragic dancer, mate. But yes, you know, transfer window. It's quite actually near to concluding. Obviously, we're used to it ending, you know, on the last day of August. But now it's going to be ending for us on the 10th or 11th of August, which, you know, some people are saying it's good. Obviously, you get all the signings in before the start of the season, and no one can take your players mid-season. But I think it's one of those things where we didn't appreciate it until it's gone. We didn't know what we had until it was gone, and it you know, now we wish we had a bit more time to make signings. Man United Fan TV, I heard the news that Aguero wants to leave United and go to China. Wants to leave and wanted to go to China. Well, you know, Sergio Aguero didn't exactly get too much pitch time at Man City last season, so maybe Aguero could be going to China. You know, we've seen a lot of players go to China, go abroad, and things like that. You know, Andres and Iniesta obviously going to I think it was Qatar. So there you go. Welcome Exchange Gaming Plays. Welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. If you guys haven't already, leave a like on the stream. And also, feel free to subscribe to all the channels in the description down below as well. Real Army FC says, United hopefully, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea and Spurs for the top, I think it's the top 6 prediction there. And I think that's a pretty solid prediction. And yeah, exactly. I really do hope that happens, to be fair, Red Army FC. I do think we have the capability to finish first. There's no doubt about that. I think it would be absolutely pointless to go into the season with no hope at all. So yeah, I'm very hopeful for the season ahead. Exchange Gaming says, how are we going to get Gareth Bale from Spurs? Well, I'll tell you what, Gareth Bale has definitely been highly linked to Spurs. He has been highly linked to Manchester United. Personally, I don't think we're going to get Gareth Bale in this transfer window. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Gareth Bale's going to, you know, with a new coach, obviously, I think it's Lopetegui, someone like that. I do think that he's going to, you know, want to stay with that coach. And I think after Ronaldo's left as well, I think Gareth Bale's kind of the top dog at Real Madrid. So he's going to relish that, and I think he's going to stay at Real Madrid. But if we're talking winger options, I do think Ivan Perisic is definitely another player who could potentially come to United. Another one we could discuss, obviously, with transfers is centre-back options. And Toby Alderweireld is another one who seems to be in the pipeline for centre-back options. Now, I think again he's a player who would be a very, very good addition to United. You know, he has the experience. He knows what it's like to play in the Premier League, and he's played in a fantastic defence with a brilliant defensive record for Spurs. So I think, you know, Alderweireld to United would be a decent signing. I'm not gonna lie. Fortune says, I'm going to be brutally honest here. Man City first, Liverpool second, Man United third, Chelsea fourth, Mourinho gets a sack. Tell you what, that is a brutal prediction, and I really hope that doesn't come true. But, you know, potentially with the way the transfer window's going and things like that, you wouldn't be surprised, would you? You would not be surprised if that happened. I think it'd be an absolute travesty if it did. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't. Red Army MUFC here says, I'll still put Arsenal 4th and Chelsea 5th, despite new management, 2 new clubs. Sarri and Chelsea will struggle more. Yeah, I do think Arsenal could actually challenge next season. I think, you know, the fact that Arsene Wenger's gone, I think for a lot of those players, the shackles will be off and they'll be eager to impress their new manager. And I think Emery has done a fantastic job, you know, with Sevilla, with PSG. So I think he would be a decent. I definitely think he would be. He is going to, you know, manage Arsenal to the best of their ability. I think they're going to be a very decent challenge for us next season. So they're going to be a very interesting watch. A team to watch, I think, next season. Please keep getting your comments in. You know, I can see you guys commenting. I really appreciate it. Anything to say at all, please leave them in the live chat. Real RNC makes the point. He says, if Mourinho gets sacked, there isn't any good options. Well, that's the thing. I remember, you know, back, you know, when we were about, you know, 13 points behind City, you know, a lot of people were saying we should sack Jose Mourinho, and I think they were being, you know, very, very kind of skeptical and very, you know, kind of, you know, jumping off a cliff too early, really. That's not a saying. What am I on about? But you know what I mean. You know, they're just jumping straight to, you know, ridiculous conclusions. And to be honest with you, I don't think Jose Mourinho would get sacked. And I think it's a very, very good point you make. I don't think there would be very many other options if, you know, Jose Mourinho was to get the sack. I do think that all the best managers are already taken up. And I think Jose Mourinho, with the track record he has, especially in the Premier League, I think probably out of the available managers we could get, I think he's definitely the best option we have at the moment. And I think, you know, if last season is to go by, if we can build on that, I think we can have a very, very good season this season. So, you know, fingers crossed, of course, fingers crossed. Liam says, we've turned the Premier League into the Scottish League, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. That is the thing, isn't it? That is the thing. That is a sad truth. You know, Celtic absolutely bolting the Scottish League. Hopefully they don't win, Man City don't win the Premier League 7 times in a row, like they did, you know, like they did in, you know, with the Scottish League, which was absolutely ridiculous, by the way. But, yeah, I don't see that happening. I do think the Premier League overall is much more competitive. But, you know, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Fortune says, I honestly don't want Mourinho to get sacked before Christmas due to the fact that no one can replace him and other club fans will rip the piss out of us. Yeah, I know. That is the thing. Obviously, if Jose Mourinho gets sacked, everyone will be saying, you know, he came to United, you know, obviously all the stuff about the special one, you know, he's a bit arrogant and things like that. And if he does get sacked, when he does have a failure, when Manchester United in general have a failure, you know, everyone takes a chance to have a pop at us, let's be honest. And, you know, I think with the amount of money we spend and things like that, you know, you've got to say fair play. But, you know, I don't think, I would hate if Jose Mourinho was to get sacked. I really would hate if Jose Mourinho was to get sacked. And I really don't want him to get sacked. I want him to be at United for years to come. Exchange Gaming says, why did Fred go to Man United? Well, obviously it was the money, you know, the money was right, and I guess it was just because, you know, Man United wanted to take him off Man City. Hopefully he can, you know, reproduce the form we've seen for Shakhtar Donetsk. You know, we've got to say, you know, it's very evident that the Ukrainian league is very different to the English Premier League. There's no doubt about that. So, you know, Fred is going to be very, very interesting watch to see. I think he will fit very nicely into that 3-man midfield alongside Pogba and Matic, or Pogba and Herrera indeed. So, I mean, I'm excited to see him. I'm very, very excited to see Fred. You know, he's not the finished article yet, so, you know, again, I'm very, very excited to see him play. Red Army MC says, we should have gotten Pep when we had the chance. Sure, he has a checkbook manager, but at least he'll buy those exciting players and play good football he's been playing his whole life. Well, that is the argument, obviously. You know, the football we're playing under Jose Mourinho has been pretty boring and dire. Let's not beat around the bush. It's been absolutely shocking. But, you know, we have mostly, on the most part, been getting results. And to be honest with you, as a fan, I'd much rather get results than I'd much rather get results than than play good football like Liverpool and not get the results as often as I'd want to. I'd much rather kind of grind out victories than play good football and get draws and losses. But obviously everyone longs to be playing like Man City did last season. They played some unbelievable football, there's no doubt about it. But, I think Jose Mourinho, if you'd ask me now, I still think I'd rather Jose Mourinho as manager. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but I would still like Jose Mourinho as manager. I don't know, I just have that feeling I'd much rather Jose Mourinho as manager, and I'm happy he is manager of Man United, because I do believe in him, and I do believe he can still bring home the Premier League title, and hopefully much more at United. Reality says, and I wouldn't want another big payout like LVG, and I was getting used to him as well. Maybe I'm just impatient. I'm just too patient, I guess. Well, maybe, possibly, but no, I don't think so. I think you're within your rights. I think you are within your rights. Fortune says Mourinho versus LVG. Mourinho finished higher in the league. LVG brought the youth. They both have poor style of plays. Which do you prefer? Well, I think in terms of results, as I said, I think results are very, very important in football. In fact, they're pretty much the most important thing in my eyes. But I do think that Jose Mourinho right now, I'd much rather have him over LVG, to be honest. But I think if Jose Mourinho had the same mentality as Louis van Gaal, bringing through the youth, I think sort of having that sort of combination of the two might bring out a fantastic manager. Obviously, they both kind of worked under each other. They both know each other very well. So maybe their managing styles and their styles of play both kind of rubbed off on each other. Maybe Jose Mourinho's management style rubbed off on Louis van Gaal's, or maybe vice versa. You never know. That's why they both play such dire football. Well, anyway, Fortune says, I'd rather lose to Man City 4-3 than win 1-0 with one shot on target. Well, yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think you'd rather lose to a team knowing that you had a go, knowing that you caused some problems, and I totally agree with you, Fortune. And I think a few times last season we lost games where we didn't look like we were totally in the game at all. The other team absolutely dominated us. That Chelsea FA Cup final was really the epitome of that. Losing 1-0 to a penalty and not really showing any sort of threat in the whole game, and going out, losing a final like that, which is absolutely gut-wrenching. So, it's hopefully we have to improve that. We really do have to improve that. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about that. Reality says, Louis van Gaal just like possession football, but Jose with his camping at the back. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They did have similar styles of play. Reality says, at least not nearly. At least not nearly half the team are sitting in their own half. Yeah, exactly. That is a problem. Obviously, you want to see attacking football. You do. And you want to be entertained, because the fans that pay the money to watch, even the Sky subscriptions, you pay that to watch your team. And if they don't entertain you, is there a point? Is there really a point? I don't see the point, to be honest. Fortune says I would grind a few games, not even every single. Not every single one of them. That is true. That definitely is true, to be honest with you. Grinding a few games and things like that. I don't think, that's really useful, to be honest with you. So yeah, I totally agree, Fortune. Totally agree with that. Reality says, like the mentality I have is mostly win and draw for those tricky games, and with the rest of them, grind for a win and draw depending on the situation against next top six. Well, it is all about context, isn't it? It really is about context, because obviously if it's like all you need is a draw to kind of win the league or whatever, or you're playing against one of the better teams and it's kind of like a dare not lose situation, then of course getting a draw is not a bad result. But when it's just a random game and you want to win for confidence and you want to win to get yourself up the table, there's no point playing defensively for a draw. There really isn't a point to it, and I really don't understand that. But we can have loads of debates on the style of play in future videos. Welcome, Karen Butter Sport. Welcome to the stream, mate. Thanks for joining. If you haven't already, guys, please do leave a like on the stream. That'd be absolutely fantastic. But I am going to wrap it up now. I think we have discussed everything we need to discuss with all the transfers and things like that. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel for more Manchester United stuff, Manchester United content, all that sort of stuff. Tomorrow, Man United at 10 o'clock UK time play San Jose Earthquakes in the second game of the Manchester United US tour. That's going to be very exciting indeed to see some of the youngsters and things like that in action. So yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to making more Manchester United content for you guys. Thank you so much for everyone who has been watching the stream tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in a bit.